Hello everyone. This video will make you clear about some basic terms that we use with reference to the structures associated with rocks. Firstly, let's start with stratification and lamination. Generally, sedimentary rocks occur in the form of series of beds. You can see in this figure, this is a sedimentary rocks. This is one bed, this is another bed. Okay, so this is called stratification or bedding. Remember, the individual bed in the sedimentary rock is called stratum, and the set of beds in sedimentary rock is called strata. Okay, and when the thickness of individual beds is very small, as in the case of cells, it is called lamination. Stratification and lamination is an inherent primary character of sedimentary rocks because sedimentation is not a continuous process but occurs in stages. The meaning is that deposition of sediments stops temporarily, and then after some time the deposition is resumed. This short break in sedimentation is represented by bedding plane. Bedding plane is a plane of contact between any two adjacent beds of strata. Here you can see this is one bedding plane, this is another bedding plane. Okay, this bedding plane connects two adjacent beds of strata. Since sediments are derived from different places in the upstream side, they frequently differ in composition. Therefore, different beds or layers in strata can easily be distinguished due to differences in features such as color, texture, hardness, composition, luster, and grain size. Shales, which is one of the sedimentary rock, is made up of very fine sediments. These are composed of very thin individual layers, and the thickness of layer is hardly a few millimeter. Hence, stratification or lamination can be easily noticed even in very small pieces of cells. On the other hand, in sandstone, which are coarse grained, the individual bed are much thicker and its thickness may be a few feet or more. Therefore, unless hand specimens are specially collected cutting across the bedding plane, layering cannot be noticed in small specimens. Next is outcrop. Any geological formation like fold, fault, or joint, when they exposed on the earth surface, is called an outcrop. Outcrop, sometimes also referred as exposed folds, faults, joints, etc. What is fold? When the set of beds of the rock are subjected to compressive force, then these set of beds bend either upward or downward direction. These bends are called folds. Faults are the fracture plane. Faults are the fracture plane along which there is a relative displacement between the rocks. Okay, so this is called fault. Joint, Joints are also fracture plane, but here the relative displacement of rock bodies are absent. Okay, so this fracture plane is called joint, this fracture plane is called fault, and these bands of the rocks are called folds. When these geological formations exposed on the earth surface, then these are called outcrops. Okay, so this is outcrop of the fold. This will be outcrop of the fault, and this is the outcrop of joint. The shape and width of the outcrop of the inclined bed depends upon the direction and amount of its dip and the surface slope of the region. If the direction of the slope of the ground and the direction of dip is nothing but the inclination of the bed, coincide, the outcrop of a given bed will be wider than these directions are opposed. When a bed is vertical, the width of its outcrop will be the thickness of bed. Look at these figures. The shape and width of the outcrop of inclined bed depends upon the direction and amount of its dip. What is direction of dip and amount of dip? Direction of dip is nothing but the direction of inclination of bed, and amount of dip is the angle of the bed which it make with horizontal. Okay, so this angle theta is the amount of dip of the bed. And the shape and width of outcrop also depends upon the surface slope of the region. If the direction of the inclination of surface is same as the direction of the inclination of bed, then in this case the width of the outcrop will be more. But if the direction of inclination of surface is opposite to the direction of inclination of bed, and in that case the width of the outcrop of inclined bed will be less. When a bed is vertical, the width of its outcrop will be the thickness of the bed. Okay, look at this figure. In this case the bed is vertical, then in this case it does not depend upon the inclination of the surface slope. If the surface slope will be inclined in this direction, and if it inclined in this direction, in all the cases the width of the outcrop of vertical bed will be equal to the thickness of the bed. Okay, strike and dip. The strike may be defined as the direction of the trace of the intersection between the bedding plane and a horizontal plane. Look at this figure. In this figure, this is the bed, inclined bed of the rock. Okay, and this is the horizontal surface. This is the trace of the intersection between the bedding plane and horizontal surface. Its direction with respect to the north is called strike. Dip we have already discussed in previous slide. Dip literally means slope or inclination. In structural geology, dip is expressed both as direction and amount. The dip direction is the direction along which the inclination of the bedding plane occurs. Look at this figure. This is the inclined bed of the rock. This is the direction of the dip. Okay. The dip amount is the angle of inclination between the bedding plane and a horizontal plane. Okay. In this figure, this is the horizontal plane represented by free water surface, and this is the direction of inclination of bed. The angle between the horizontal plane and the direction of the inclination of bedding plane is called dip amount. Okay, means this is the dip amount.